Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Refill with Preach Sista. I'm your host, Michelle Loyd-Paige, the founder of Preach Sista, and it's my pleasure to welcome you in studio. Oh my goodness, you know what? We're just a couple of minutes late getting started because I forgot to press the go live button. That just shows you we really are. And today, in episode season 2, our third episode of season 2 is all about life events that have an impact on our lives. And so we are just excited that you all are here with us. We're going to go ahead and get started because I'm super excited to bring our guest into the studio with me. And so there he is. Our guest today is Mr. Marvin Foreman. And so, Mr. Foreman, I just want to say thank you again for being our guest today and Refill with Preach Sista. Season 2 is a little different because we, all of season 1, and I know you've watched, if not all of them, almost all of our Preach Sista episodes, and have really appreciated the comments and the encouragements and that you have given to Preach Sista, especially this past year. And because you were giving so many shout outs and you did good today, I said, we need to bring him in the studio because he is such a positive person. And I know you from visiting your church sometimes. So welcome to the show. I wonder if you'd be willing just to introduce yourself a little bit to our guests.
My name is Marvin Foreman, and I'm a member of the church in downtown DC.
Yay! Yeah, that's where our paths have crossed, and I'm super excited that you are here with us, and even more excited that you're willing to help us have a conversation about our theme for season 2. When we think about 2020 and the beginning of 2021, lots of people were saying, oh my goodness, that has had such an impact on my life. COVID hasn't had an impact on my life, or some of the racial uprisings have had an impact on our lives. But truth be told, there are opportunities for major life events our whole lives. And some major life events shape our lives more so than others. And through these events that shape our lives, we get to know more about ourselves, more about our faith, know more about what we believe. And so I wonder if there has been a major life event that has shaped the person that you are today that you'd like to share with us.
Sure. One of the things that happened with me, and I'm not afraid to share with anyone, is that I was incarcerated. I was incarcerated for 21 years. And the big thing about that was that I don't look at it as a time to where I was taken from society. I look at it as a time to where God pulled me to a side and reflected my ear. Because He says, I'm not done with you, Marvin. There's something that I need you to do. And it's like,
I'm so grateful for your vulnerability and sharing that. And the institute that I work in, Calvin University, we have a prison initiative. And I can remember going to the prison when we had the inaugural class, right? That we went in to meet the students, and the conversations that we had with our Calvin students who are incarcerated about how God has met them while they were incarcerated were some transformational stories. As you look at that time where God was speaking to you, did you find it easy to listen to God in that place, or did you find it sometimes a little difficult to listen to God in that place?
Yeah, I found it a little extremely difficult because at first I kind of settled with the idea, but as soon as I came in the door, I kind of felt God's presence on me.
Okay.
Telling me things because it was a long time that I was going to have to do it. I needed to console myself, and God was doing that majorly for me. And At first, I didn't quite take on. And it went until, I say, about 8 years into my sentence.
Okay.
I was seeing people going to that church services. And a friend of mine, Pharrell, he was the chaplain at the facility that I was in. And he pulled me to a side because he knew me personally. He says, "When you're going to start coming back to church." And from that moment, I know, well, God actually come to get in touch with me so that I can get back in touch with the church. And that's what happened to me. I was like 8 years into my sentence. And like a thing.
Okay. And I'm glad you brought up that sometimes God speaks to us through people. We have to have ears to hear. It's like, okay, God, you're telling me something because you sent this person for me to tell me, get my behind back in church. So I'm so appreciative of that. So,
When things my way, and I'm leaning on my own understanding, I reflect back. And as I see it, leaning more to my own understanding, I found myself getting in a lot of trouble. I was inside. And that's not the reason I had to stop and think. That's not the reason why I was put here.
okay.
It's curtail the stuff the bad behavior that I was doing in society.
Okay.
And I'm doing it here. I couldn't do it on my own, so I had to open my heart back up and allow for God to utilize Chaplain Burrell to come back in to pull me back into the church. Right.
And you're getting into the next question that I have, is what questions did you learn about yourself, your life and your faith? And just having that understanding is like, oh, wait a minute. I'm doing the same thing that got me here. That's not the reason I'm here. And to understand, I can't do this by myself. And I think for every believer, there comes a point when you realize you can't do this life by yourself. You need God. And it's not, I can't do this by myself, so let me find some people to help me. It's, I can't do this by myself. I need God in my life. And maybe I need some other people in my life too. But we have to always take inventory on who are those people, because if those people are not helping us, we could be doing ourselves more harm than we intend, right? So always taking inventory on who is it that we have in our circle, and are they helping us, or are they taking away from us? So I appreciate that.
That's what I found that it was a lot of hindrance because as we know, prison is a place for people to be removed from society to correct wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and when you're inside and you're steady doing wrong, you got to wonder where is this rehabilitation coming from. And then that's where I started reading the books that rehabilitation come from one being defined. Rehabilitation come first must come within itself.
Mm.
And what we could justify that or realize that we are being brought from society for purposes or for a reason. And once we get inside, we have to utilize that time wisely. And there's not a lot of people that are utilizing that time wisely or coming to Christ. So at that point, I had to separate myself from a lot of others.
Okay.
And that was a big deal because Christians in prison are looked at that room.
Okay.
And so I was that respectfully because I always respected others as God wanted me through the whole process.
Okay.
But it was him who was trying to get people to look at who I was on the outside. Okay, I will work with it, Marvin. What are you going to do with this work? Are you going to sit there? And then my counselor came to me and she said, well, hey, you've been catching a lot of tickets here. And she opened up her eyes. She said, 2 years she's going to be facing the road. She said, you correct this and just start doing better. And I started doing that. That was that. That's it as well.
Yeah.
Like we all heard about the road. He's going to save me.
Yes.
I sit to a roll. I sit in a cool room and we never realize God is trying to utilize people to come into our lives for His purpose.
That is such a good illustration where, as you said, sometimes as believers, or even anybody, right? Even a non-believer is crying out, God, I need your help. I need you to show up in my life. And And, because the waters are rising either figuratively or literally, and we'll just say figuratively, and God sends by the person with the rowboat, and it's like, no, I don't trust the rowboat because I don't know how to swim. Right. Okay, rope comes down from the helicopter. Well, I don't know about the rope from the helicopter because, I'm waiting on God to save me. And then, it could even be a big fish just coming by. I don't know what's coming by, right? It's like, no, I don't want no fish. And then, the person drowns, is up in heaven, and God, why didn't you save? Look, I sent you the boat. I sent you the rope. I even sent you a big fish. Even sent a little life preserver to go on, but you never took it, right? So we have to watch for, what is God trying to tell us? Who are the people that God is trying to send us to speak into our life? And we can tell the people that God is sending to us because these people point us back to God, as opposed to people trying to tell us we can do it by ourselves. We're the captain of our own ship. We don't have to listen to nobody. We can be our own self. Those are not people that God has sent, because God is going to send us the people that will point us back to the path that God has for us.
And to add on to that, one of the things that we got to recognize is that, and where I started getting wrong when I was a guy, is that I started blaming others, or especially the prisoners.
Okay.
I said, okay, in prison, incarceration, punishment, retribution, deterrence, rehabilitation. And it seems like we get in, and then it's like I started convincing myself of this time, because we still have brutality going on here. There's a lot going on in this area. And you see that, then you put the prisoners or the system in the category of being a problem. It's slim chance, and everything seems to be happening at that point. I seem to be hostile towards it, and you get it.
Okay.
And those are the things, I had to get around. He didn't set them in that place for no reason.
Right.
And then I had to look at it at that point instead of them doing a wrong. Because we're prisoners, sometimes we need correction for the things that we decide.
Right.
So I couldn't see that as the mentality. I'll see a whole bunch of the guards, the roommates down the hall, the corridor, and then beat them up, take them out because of something they may have done. We take offense at it and then utilize that to convince ourselves that the system is terrible. And then once you get into a ring of that, or thought of that, and you carry it on, it didn't look good. That's time I had to say, hey, save up. More years before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because for a long time I was there, I kind of rebuked that. I grew up in the Christian home.
Okay.
East of Avenue, 64, my Grand Michigan.
Okay.
And I love that church. Taught me about Christ, and he stuck with me, but I just didn't live with Christ. I didn't live Christ for me.
Okay.
And then like that somewhat stipulating the measures.
Okay.
And I'm not saying anything bad about being incarcerated. I deserve to be there because I was doing wrong. God needed to slow down. That was the way he did it. And then it took me a while for me to realize that he utilized vehicle to come at me. To stipulate that in my mind so that I can start doing better, because now that I am out, the work's still carrying on.
Yeah.
I work in social equality, social justice, and reconciliation, using the holistic approach of God.
Okay. And so you can tell this is a new question that's coming up because I have to think of it. But the things that you're saying, would you say that your work for social justice, reconciliation, are things that fill you up, like, or things that encourage you, because you're saying, okay, I'm going to be able to make a difference, and so this is something that fills me up.
Oh, Michelle, I'm fire about it, because the way God is in me is that this work, reconciliation, learning to forgive, learning social justice. When I look at those things, I don't have to look at them as anger anymore. I can look at this holistic approach because there's a reason why everything. I
Okay.
believe that. And you just have to put God first in your life. God's going to reveal it to you. And since I found out, I've been helping, I'm reaching back to help others. Now, usually I'm a selfish man. I don't help anybody.
Okay.
But with the Lord, all things are possible. He changed that whole thing around.
Wow.
So I've been there. So them that's getting out, the returning citizens, our returning citizens, need a hand. I need a hand. I was down so long. I didn't have no friends out here to go what to do. I kept my eyes on God. I followed Hero Reach Rich Rich came into the facility where I was at.
Okay.
And they had prisoners in Christ. We meetings outside, get together, talk about how we could strengthen one another.
Okay.
And it led to a bigger thing. And that's the thing that I'm carrying on church now. I like to help people get down to citizens to
Okay.
get their lives established. So I went ahead. And the passion that I have, I've been driving. I started off as a taxi driver. When I got out, and that's a little into me buying buses and doing transportation workers. Now I'm on rig and I'm hiring returning citizens to drive.
Okay. So are you doing primarily the big rigs? Or are you still doing vans and other kinds of rides, or is it really just the big rigs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to want to do freight more than people. But also, I also go like the girls club on Tuesdays, Thursdays, I drive a bus to get the kids from schools to the clubhouse here in Muskegon and high school after school activities.
Okay. Okay, that is cool. And I appreciate how you're thinking about, okay, how can you help somebody else? So you got a business. How can you hire some people who might have trouble finding jobs? And right now, seems like people who can drive a truck are in short supply. So many people, staffing is just hard. At least I've seen news stories where they're saying, yeah, we're looking for truck drivers because when we can get the things in, we can't get it out because we don't have the people to drive it.
There's a supply demand right now that's going on, and there was almost a big scare about truckers. Right. I had issues with this mandate. The Truckers Association was about that, and they wanted to do strike. I had something that was just different. Right? They wanted that. I didn't want that.
Okay.
So you're we do the things that we don't want to do.
Right.
That's one of the things that I have to learn. Sometimes we have to suffer as Christ did.
Yeah. So, so what you're seeing now in your life is God is still stepping in. God is still guiding your steps. So it wasn't just God was guiding you, God was helping you to keep you company while you incarcerated. But once you got out, I appreciate you didn't leave God behind. It's like, well, thank you, Lord. You got me out, and now I'm on my own. Now I can do it myself. But just really understanding, reliance on God once you're out at all times is a reliance on God and seeking God.
Amen.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
I have to keep him along with me. He walks with me. I may look back and see one set of footprints, but hey, he's scary.
Yeah. With you saying that, it was, I don't know, some months ago, I was out at the lake, actually more specifically out at Maranatha at their lake. And I was at the edge, where the water is coming up on the beach. And I saw what I assumed to be a father and son, walk by. And we're close enough to the edge so that, it's the wet sand that you're walking through. And as I watched them, walk by, just say hi, being sociable. And then I looked and I had been talking with someone, and I just happened to look down at the ground and only saw one set of footprints. I was like, wait a minute. What? And I said, didn't we just see two people walk by? She said, yeah, we saw two people. I said, but there's only one set of footprints. I said, this gives me a whole new meaning to that story. We sometimes say, it's like, yeah, look down, only one set of footprints, and it was God carrying me. And so now my and to that is sometimes we look down and we only see one set of footprints. That's because we're walking in God's footprints. So what I'm assuming happened is that the son was walking in the footsteps that the father was making. Just how, sometimes here in Michigan, when it's so snowy and the snow is deep, we send somebody out and we find somebody else's footprints and we step in their footprints so we don't have to step in that fresh, new, deep snow. So I just had to add that to it. That's a whole sermon. That's a whole sermon, right? It's like, okay, maybe God is carrying us, but maybe it's that we're walking in God's footsteps. And that's the reason why we only see one set of steps, because we're not trying to.
That's important.
We're not trying to make our.
When we walk in our own footsteps, we tend to be more on our own understanding. Sometimes we miss that helicopter.
Right.
And we can't see. We try to channel it out when we walk our own. We follow God's footsteps, and we walk one way all the time.
Right.
And that's the way to go.
Yeah.
And what's called love?
Yeah, nothing. See, you about to preach. Well, one time for our conference, we had Preach Brother t-shirts, because we had Preach Sista t-shirts, and we had some brothers who were showing up, and they said, well, where's the Preach Brother ones? It's like, oh, we'll have them next year. So you're gonna make me bring them back because you about to preach up in here. So that is awesome.
Amazing.
Well, I want to say thank you so much for being with us. Your testimony on just God's faithfulness and trusting God when we're in those either physical prisons or self-made prisons, trusting God, and then continuing to trust God and following God when we're set free, whether we're set free physically from confinement or when we have that breakthrough with God because we have accepted God's love towards us. We need to continue walking with God, right? So what got you here is going to be, you got to keep doing that. Got to keep doing those things that got you here so that it will sustain you once you are here. So your walk of faith and how you're continuing. Yeah, you're continuing to work for social justice, reaching back, helping other people, helping people find employment, because that has definitely been difficult for some people once they have a record that they've been incarcerated. So you having compassion and saying, you know what? Someone gave me a second chance. That person who gave me a second chance was God. I'm not God, but I can give you a second chance. I can use what I have to help you. We all need second chances. We all need second chances because none of us are perfect. And so as we get ready to close out, I'm going to bring up a reminder to everyone. So you're still going to be on screen, but I'm just bring a reminder to everyone that our next WOW Bible study is going to be October 8th. Again, the timing is, the date is changed because Michelle has been traveling and trying to make this all work. So instead of the first Friday of the month, it's going to be the second Friday of the month. It's going to be October 8th at 7:00. We're going to be looking, continuing in our walk through the various spiritual disciplines. And so we're going to look at worship as gratitude and worship as counting our blessings. So again, this is the WOW Bible study. We're going to be continuing with spiritual disciplines. That's going to be this coming Friday, October the 8th at 7:00. Visit our website or our Facebook page in order to get a link to that, because it's a Zoom session, because that just makes life a little bit easier for me to make that happen. And then also, I want to remind people of our newest ministry, the Antioch Podcast. The Antioch Podcast is a group of multicultural, multi-generational friends who are having conversations around biblical anti-racism. So I just want to encourage you to listen to the podcast, like and share if you like it and you share it, review it, help us get the word out. But that's our newest ministry ministry, the newest work that we do. But in addition to that, there's multiple ways that you can join us. You can check us out on our website. You can check us out on our Instagram account. You can check us out on Facebook. You know the deal. Wild Bible Study and our newsletter. If you want to sign up for the newsletter, go to our website and sign up, and we'll get something into your box twice a month. At least that's what we're aiming to do. But until the next time, this is Michelle Loyd-Paige and our special guest, Mr. Marvin Foreman, encouraging you to keep the faith, growing in your faith, and nourishing your soul. This has been Refill with Preach Sista. We'll see you again in just a couple of weeks.